Hello everybody, this is a bit of an update from my video that I made about 10 months ago that was entitled How I Completed 2 Years of College in 2 Months. For those of you who don't know, I took 12 AP tests my senior year. I passed 10 of them. I entered college with 40-some credits, and basically I had 2 years out of college out of the way before I went. I just completed my first year of college a couple weeks ago, and I have 1 year to go. I'm graduating either in spring of 2012 or fall of 2012, depending on where I'm studying abroad and what courses I'll be able to take there that are equivalent to my major here. But nonetheless, I'll be graduating in 2012, which corresponds with what I said in the previous video. So everything I claimed there, still true, still on track with that. However, this video is not so much about how to encourage you or tell you how to complete college in 2 years or 3 years, although I do definitely recommend it because you will save a shitload of money. This video is mainly just how I feel about college in general, and right now I feel that college is a gigantic scam. A scam to get your money. Now, ever since you were a little kid, when you were 5, 6, 7, whenever, when you started elementary school, your parents, they'd always tell you, now pay attention in school and get good grades so you can get into a good college and get a good job. And your teachers would tell you that too. Ever since elementary school, middle school, and high school, definitely, they're all saying, oh, get good grades, take lots of extracurriculars, volunteer, so you can have all these good things on your application so you can get into a really good college, because if you get into a good college, that's the ticket to getting a really good job. Then you'll make lots of money and have a great future and be really, really successful, and you'll be happy. That's what they tell you. Getting into good college equals happiness. A college degree equals happiness. It equals a lot of money. Basically, it's ingrained into our minds for kindergarten through 12th grade that you need to get into a good college. Going to college is the answer. And so what has that created? It has created a nation full of kids who are going to college. However, they're not all going to good colleges. They're not all becoming educated at college. They are going to whatever college they can get into, and then they're majoring in whatever, and that basically ends up with the students having a piece of paper after 4 years of paying the school $100,000 or more, that they get a piece of paper that says they're smarter for some reason, and then because of that piece of paper that says they are smarter for some reason, employers will look at them a little more favorably. But of course, in this current job market, that is not even true. Having a piece of paper isn't going to make you more competitive. It's basically a requirement. If you don't have a college degree, most employers will weed you out, and it'll be much, much harder to even get an interview, much less a job. This was not the case 50 years ago, back in your parents' or grandparents' day, back when getting a high school degree was the benchmark. Back then, you could get a nice desk job with a high school degree. With lots of work experience, you could work your way up. College was for more rich people. It was for people who were more privileged. Were there some more ordinary people who went to college? Of course. One of my great, how am I related to them exactly? One of my great uncles had 6 kids, and they grew up pretty poor, but all of the 6 kids worked really hard in school, and they all got full rides into colleges. Now that's pretty impressive. And so I'm not saying that never happened. I'm not saying people who weren't as privileged didn't go to college, but I'm saying it was mainly privileged people whose parents were so rich that it didn't matter if they went to college and did nothing, because they could be taken care of their whole life with their wealth. Or it would be taken by students who were actually very bright and could actually do something very productive with their college degree. Or it was a combination of the two, very bright people who also had affluent parents. Now, however, it seems like every single student, whether they're poor, rich, smart, stupid, motivated, unmotivated, want to have a career path as a doctor or as a whatever, are deciding to go to college. And this is bad. I feel this is bad for several reasons. One, it creates a giant, basically it creates the artificial need for college when college is not actually needed. So essentially, there's masses of students now who are in college because they need to go to college just to get some job that doesn't actually require anything that they learn in college. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, college will show employers that you're able to finish something that you started. Like, that's BS. Basically, the only thing that determines if you finish college is if you run out of money or not. Like, college isn't hard. The reason why so many students drop out is because they cannot afford it. It has nothing to do with intelligence. And that's another reason why I think college is a scam, because the college classes, they aren't difficult, they aren't challenging, and above all, they don't teach you anything. It's full of all of this busy work where you complete a few assignments, you write a couple papers, you take a couple tests that have stuff on it that you memorize from all of these vocabulary words and basic terms and like bolded things in the textbook. And so basically you just do those, the teacher has something to grade, they don't actually teach you anything, they don't help you think critically, you just sort of fill them out, turn them in, get your A or your B, and then you move on. Like, honestly, if you do the work in the classes, there's no way you're not going to get A's or B's, unless you're really, really, really dim. But even if you're really, really, really dim, you're still able to pass your classes if you're paying that money to those colleges, because the colleges, they want the students to pass. You know why? Because if more students pass, more students will go to their colleges because there's a high passing rate, and then they'll make more money off of their students. And the reason why they're able to charge so much money is because of all these student loans that the government is giving out. Like, it's ridiculous how so many of these students who come from these families that make barely any money, the government will give them like 100,000 plus in student loans, and then they're expected to pay these student loans off throughout their whole life. And if you go to some private college and get your degree in sociology or women's studies, which is what a lot of these students from less than affluent families are doing, then they're probably not going to get a job that pays very much. Social work does not pay very much. And even worse, if you get a degree in sociology or geography or whatever, like, I'm not saying that those are stupid majors, although they kind of are, but unless you want to be a professor in that major, there's a very specific career that major requires, then your chances are the job that you'll end up with, you wouldn't have needed that major. Like, there are so many careers out there with different companies where people in those companies have a varying amount of degrees, where one colleague got an English degree, another got a sociology degree, another got a psychology degree, another got a political science degree, another got a business degree, one has his PhD, but they're all in the same job. Like, that's just proof that what degree you get does not matter. All that matters is that you spent all this money on a degree so you could get a job. So basically, you're required to spend thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in order just to get a job. No wonder there's this gigantic income gap. No wonder the wealthier people get wealthy and the poorer people get poorer. The poorer people either can't afford to go to college altogether, or they take out these gigantic loans which will keep them poor their entire life, and they'll use most of the time major in something that won't pay that well, and then they won't be able to pay off these loans till they're way later in their life, and they're going to be way behind financially, whereas the people who are wealthy, they won't need to take out loans, their parents will pay for all their tuition, and plus, more than likely, their rich parents have connections which will get them a great job anyway, regardless of what they major in. So really, the only people who actually benefit truly from college are middle-class people with fairly affluent parents who do their research beforehand and major in something that's actually a good investment, that actually requires a college degree and will actually make them a significant amount of money that they will be able to pay off their tuition, most likely, if they do well and are a good candidate for the job. Some of these degrees include being a doctor, being a lawyer, being a nurse, being a college professor, being some sort of scientist, some sort of researcher, some sort of engineer. Those are specified careers that actually require a college degree and are a good investment if you are serious about it, a good student, get good internships. Basically, if you prepare yourself as a good candidate. However, most people don't do their research, they go to college, they get shitty grades, they go and drink and party and smoke all the time, and then $100,000 later, with their 2.9 GPA and their sociology degree from their college that cost them $50,000 a year, they're wondering, why can't I get a job? Well, you idiot. One, the economy's terrible. Yes, we're in a recovery, but a lot of the jobs that are being added are by like McDonald's and Walmart, so they really aren't helping because those jobs take away like 3 or 4 jobs for every job those huge corporations add. And second of all, if you don't actually get a degree that's valuable, you're not going to be seen as a valuable candidate compared to all these other candidates that actually did their research. So basically, I just think it's unfortunate that college is such a scam, that people don't realize it. I think it's unfortunate that the government is giving out all these gigantic student loans, because that's letting these universities get away with charging these ridiculous amounts of money for tuition. I think it's unfortunate that students feel they need to go to college and that they basically have to go to college just to get a decent job, when really you aren't learning anything in college that will help you with that job. It's basically just paying for a job. Those are my opinions on college. I think it's a scam. I think people need to stop going unless they're going into a specified field and try to basically make a good career for themselves. I think this country needs way more entrepreneurs. I think we're way too reliant on all these huge multinational corporations who treat their employees like shit and pay them minimum wage. I think we need way more entrepreneurs, way more small businesses. And honestly, if you're a smart, motivated person, and you probably am if you're one of my subscribers and watch my videos, if you're a smart, motivated person, you should be your own entrepreneur. Be an entrepreneur, start your own business, follow your passion. What is it you like to do? Do you like to paint? Do you like to sculpt? Do you like to build furniture? Do you like to raise animals? Whatever you want to do, you should go for it, and you should try to create your own business and create your own wealth.